He's mine now.
What's up everyone, this is Vulcus here and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a LEGO video. We're going to be reviewing the LEGO Ideas Tron Legacy set, which is number 21314 or 21314. So this is the set right here, the complete set. This was amazing for me because I got this as it was a birthday gift when I didn't even know this set existed, and I'm a huge Tron fan. Especially of the Tron Legacy and Uprising era of Tron. Tron Legacy was what really, because I'd seen the original Tron and I really liked it, but I didn't really, because I was quite young when I saw it, I didn't fully understand all of what was happening. I just thought it was kind of cool. But when I saw Tron Legacy, that was what really got me into Tron. So yeah, this set is absolutely amazing. And it is here, as you can see, complete in all its glory. It comes with 2 light cycles, 1 blue and 1 red, and 3 figures. So of course, like how I usually structure my set videos, we're going to go with the figures first. Before we get into the figures, I'm going to say if you somehow haven't had the pleasure of checking out Tron Legacy, you really need to. Not only does it have spectacular CGI that holds up after nearly a decade, looking like it's a brand new film that came out today, and far better, such as other films like Dolittle that have come out recently. It absolutely destroys them in terms of CGI prowess. But also the actual story and just universe it creates and the characters are just awesome. So you really need to go watch that film. If you do care about spoilers, I will be spoiling many major plot points of the film in this video. So go check it out and then come back if you're worried about that. But now let's get into the figures themselves. So right here we have Sam Flynn. So this is the protagonist of the film and the son of Kevin Flynn, who was the main character of the first Tron movie. So essentially his father has got missing and Sam is determined to find him, and he ends up finding the Tron game and using this to get into the grid, which is the digital virtual world that Kevin Flynn had been working on for years. Now Sam Flynn right here is an awesome figure. Right now I've got him with his helmet on, however his main piece he comes with is this tousled spiked tan hairpiece, which is quite a nice hairpiece. It's not that common of a piece. It's not rare, I'd say, but it's not that common either, and I don't have it in tan personally. So the helmet itself is not unique. It doesn't come with any unique printing. It's just a black new design racing helmet with the space visor in light blue. It does of course look very cool, but of course the highlight of each figure is their amazing printing on their torsos, legs and the light disc pieces. So Sam, like both figures in this set, who are are going to have their faces shown, come with a double-sided head. So the first expression is sort of a friendly slash goofy sort of grin to represent, Sam is a likable protagonist in the film, and he does like to goof around a lot. On the side we have more of a serious expression for, when he's not goofing around, I guess. So yeah, decent head print. I don't know if it exactly captures the actor perfectly. That face is alright. If anything, I'd say the added details for the jaw lines on the face kind of make him look a bit older than they need to, because he's pretty young in the film, like in his 20s, so he wouldn't need to be shown as any older. But the highlight of this figure, I'd say, is the amazing printing here. So this right here represents their costumes in the grid. Sam and Cora both have the blue circuitry, and then the third figure in the set, Rinsler, has red circuitry. So this is just absolutely insane printing, some of the best I've ever seen in a set. Not just a LEGO Ideas set, or the best thing about this set is it's actually, at the moment that I'm filming this, that's only, I got this set not long after it came out, and it was about £30. It possibly will have gone up by now, but hopefully you could still get it for a reasonable price. So it's not even like almost every other LEGO Ideas set that's amazingly expensive. And this printing here, as you can see, is very accurate to the movie. I do have a pretty good visualization of the suits in my head anyway, because I've seen parts of and the whole of that film so many times because I love it. But yeah, this is a very, very nice printing for the actual grid costume with blue circuitry here. So you could definitely swap this out for other Tron characters if you wanted to make other figures, or insert yourself into the Tron universe. This is awesome printing to do that. Now I want to take some time here to showcase the amazing light disc piece. So if you didn't know, this set is actually a LEGO Ideas set, which means that it was taken, the original idea to make it was taken from a fan design. There's a YouTube channel called the Brick Bros UK, who are actually the fan designers of the build that became this set. So make sure to go and subscribe to them. I will link their channel in the description because they are very talented, and without them we would never have had this amazing set. So thank you to the Brick Bros UK. Now their fan set was awesome, but of course what they can't do is make custom printed pieces like this. Their light disc, I think, was literally a tire, which is a kind of good improvisation, but this is just amazing looking. Not only is it very accurate to the film, but it's actually got a hole here in the center, which obviously means that you can put it on top of a Lego hand, so it can be displayed like this. And also, considering its thickness of a normal 2x2 round plate, you can also hold it like that. So you can basically display it in the two main positions that you would have a disc. You would want to display a identity disc on a Lego Tron figure. Now you might be wondering, can you mount it on the back like in the movie? Now it doesn't look, obviously there are limitations with what Lego can make in their official sets. It can't look quite as smooth as just that on the back, but it looks pretty damn good. So what they did is Cora and Sam both come with this piece. So it is a 1x2 sort of rounded plate here, molded from translucent plastic, with an attached collar piece. So you simply insert the torso peg into it like that, put on the head, and boom. Now it looks a little strange for holding the disc because you'd think it would only have one stud, but all you need to do is just click it on like this. As you can see, it sits on there really nicely, and it looks pretty good. Considering how Lego have sometimes fluffed things like this in their sets, I think they did a really great job here. So kudos to Lego for making such an awesome identity disc and making it work really nicely with the figure. So I just want to again showcase how nice the printing is on this suit with that detail there, with the different looking textures. And they went really over the top awesome here with the leg printing. I mean, you'd hope for leg printing when it would really be needed with a figure like this, but considering it's only a £30 set, you might not expect them to do that, but they went overboard's not the right word, but they went, above and beyond. That's what I meant with the awesomeness of that. So that's Sam Flynn. Now the next figure in this set I actually didn't expect them to include. I didn't realize they were including her, even though she's on the box. I was just dumb and I was too excited when I just saw Lego and Tron. I just freaked out and opened it. But yeah, here is Cora. So of course she does come with this. Now this is a bit strange for those who might not remember the film too well. A silver katana. From what I remember, she uses her batons. I don't remember a sword. I might just be being dumb here. I think she might have had some kind of sword-like weapon, but it wasn't silver. But you can understand why Lego didn't create a custom molded sword piece as well as everything else, because that would make this set way more expensive to mass produce. I'm not really complaining. It still looks pretty cool on the figure, and of course she does come with her own identity disc, which is in terms of printing no different, but it's actually very important to the plot of the movie because Kevin Flynn actually ends up using it to trick Clue by switching it with his own, which Clue didn't realize. So it's a pretty important piece and kind of cool if you know the film. And of course Cora does come with her own version of the same piece here, the transparent collar 2x2 piece, which you attach the disc to. So this is Cora, of course, played by Olivia Wilde. Honestly, I think they actually did a way better job of capturing her character here with this face. Sam's not bad. You can easily use that head, but I think Cora's actually pretty good in terms of capturing her appearance in the movie. So Her face, of course, she's got this expression here. That character actually has a lot of attributes of being kind of playful, like a young child, which is kind of a reference to how the ISOs are a very new type of program that obviously Kevin Flynn didn't create. ISO lore is actually pretty interesting. The movie doesn't delve that deeply into it, but things like Tron Uprising and Tron Evolution definitely talk about it more. And her other expression is this kind of serious but kind of still a bit goofy expression, which again I'd say fits her really well. So again, kudos to LEGO for doing a good job with that. Her hairpiece actually is the same one used on Irana Spalko from the Indiana Jones line, which I had from years ago, but I distinctly remember that I was really annoyed because I only had one of this hairpiece from that set and my dog chewed it and it was completely broken. So, it's another thing I like about this set. This hairpiece is also available in like the LEGO minifigure series, I believe, and just random LEGO City sets, so it's not that rare or anything, but it's not super common either, so that's another reason for, LEGO city building fanatics or people to get this set. But again, as good as Cora's face is, and of course her light disc and stuff is cool, again, the highlight of her figure is definitely the amazing printing on the torso. And I actually forgot to really showcase with Sam Flynn here. He has great arm printing as well, which is very accurate to the movie. But I actually think that Cora's arm printing is even cooler looking. And again, very accurate to the movie because she has her shoulders exposed on her version of the outfit. And of course, being a female torso, they leave a negative space on each side. But again, really amazing printing for the suit there. The circuitry looks dead on and really awesome, and the legs also have some nice printing there as well. My favourite part about the printing on her, to be honest, is as you can see on her left arm, she has the same printing but switched on her right arm, except for the silver sort of tattoo mark she has there on her arm. And I can't remember what that, I think that is circuitry, it's to do with ISOs, only ISOs have that. So it's also partially why she's covering it up, mostly because as an ISO she would be in danger of Clue when he basically started to launch a mass genocide against ISOs. So she wouldn't want to reveal her identity. But yeah, that tattoo is a really nice print, or that circuitry, whatever you want to call it. So that is Cora, a very, very nice figure. I don't think I really showcased the back printing, so I'll do that now. I think it is, yeah, apart from the negative space, I think it is different to, yeah, it is pretty different to Sam Flynn. I know I've got the piece on there, but you can see there, again, movie accuracy, it is different in the movie. So yeah, a lot of awesomeness with these two figures. As much as I adore both of those figures, actually my favourite figure is the third one in the set, which is of course Rinzler, or if you haven't seen the movie, this is actually Tron. So as I said at the beginning, you definitely should have gone and check out the movie before watching this video, but if you didn't, yeah, this is Tron. Tron in the movie was, you see later on that he was essentially, Kevin Flynn and Tron were betrayed by Clue, and his forces basically captured Tron and repurposed his programming, turning him into the menacing and amazingly badass villain, Rinzler. But he does actually, at the end of the movie, or near the end of the movie, basically resist the new programming and become reborn as Tron when he sacrifices himself, falls into the sea. I can't remember the name of the sea place he falls into, but he falls into it, and then the last thing you see is his programming circuitry change from red to blue. So basically Tron did, I believe, survive. He wasn't de-rezzed, but the question is, will he come back in later Tron media? So I want to remove his light discs. Obviously, again, one of Rinzler's coolest features is that he has 2 light discs, which is incredibly badass. Obviously, only one of them, I think only one of them can actually be his true identity disc. I'm not sure how that works in terms of that, but it started out because when he was fighting off Clue's forces, he just grabbed one of the guards' discs and tried to fight with 2 of them, and he kind of, grew on it. It grew on him. So let's talk about Rinzo a bit more. So obviously, since he is Tron, if you take his helmet off, he does actually have a face. And this is my personal favourite face of the three because I can't remember the name of the actor for Tron. I think it's Bruce something, but in Tron Legacy, his face actually does... This actually just really reminds me of him in Tron Legacy, so I think they did a great job with that expression. Not so much Tron Uprising, but the animation style of that show is very different, so this is a great face. It is only single-sided because it's usually under a helmet, and again, I can understand that. It's perfectly fine when Lego wants to save a bit of money on production like this, especially since this face we did get is really, really cool. You know, it's not like that angry clone face or whatever, it's actually cool. So, let's talk about Rinzler here. He has my personal favourite printing of all three figures. It's not as... Oh, actually, no, it does have that texture as well. It's just not as obvious with the additional textures, but in terms of the actual printing, it's so good. Again, very movie accurate. The most important part of his printing there, as you can see, with the very sort of subtle circuitry. That's very important for Rinzler, and also the T, the red T, hinting at his true identity there, which is basically on all of his suits. And he does also come with another highlight of his figure, which is this completely custom helmet piece. I've never seen this helmet piece before. As you can see, the back of it and the side really does resemble an Iron Man helmet, but of course the visor is fused in and doesn't flip up or down because it doesn't in the movie. That would be inaccurate, but the question is if there's a completely new molded piece or not. I don't actually know, but all I do know is that this is awesome. And what I'm actually planning on doing at some point is maybe getting at least one or maybe even two more copies of this set, depending how expensive it gets, because I want to try and create, using custom decals so I don't actually damage the original pieces, I want to try and create some custom figures, Tron figures, which I would want more than one of this helmet to do it because of figures like Clue and, what's his name, Beta, having these helmets, so I would want to do that. And Anon, so there are various Tron characters I want to create with this helmet piece. But here's the back printing as well, which I did show a bit but didn't actually talk about. So just all the printing here is awesome. He doesn't have arm printing. He's the only one not to have it, but honestly, that's very subtle printing that you would want to put on the arms. So again, reasonable places for Lego to want to save a bit of money with the production of the set. I don't know if it's just my helmet or if it was meant to be like this, but I swear one of the lines is a bit not quite symmetrical there. Doesn't bother me really at all. And I also don't remember the silver lines being that bold, and just the way they're positioned. Again, it doesn't actually bother me because it looks cool, but the things that really stick out for his helmet are these two lights here, one on each side. That's very iconic for his helmet. And let's not forget to talk about his identity discs. So he does, of course, come with two. And they are, of course, the correct circuitry colour of... if anything, they're a little light, but I think it's to simulate the fact that they're glowing, which I actually really like. So it's not really a criticism saying they're light, because it works. Quite noticeably different from the blue disc, but the actual printing is the same, just with red colouring, as, again, accurate to the movie. And since he does come with two, you can display them in some pretty awesome positions. If you guys have seen the movie, that scene when Sam first fights him in the arena and he drops in and splits his discs and activates both of them and just stands there looking awesome, you can kind of simulate that like this, alternatively with him holding them in the sideways grip. That might look a bit better, to be honest, more accurate to that scene. Yeah, like I said, that Tron Legacy is just an absolute marvel. It just honestly is one of my favourite movies ever, and I just can't recommend it enough. And I also can't recommend enough to ignore the terrible reviews that some critics were giving it, because honestly I genuinely can't understand why they hated it. I mean, yes, it's different from the original Tron, but they kept the spirit of the original Tron in my opinion. I really don't see what they did wrong there at all. Alright, so I don't really need to display these, but I'm just trying to show, okay, there we go. So you can display them in really nice positions. And speaking of the way he splits his discs, this is actually why he comes with his own version of the light disc collar piece. So he does not come with the standard transparent piece that other characters would use. He actually comes with this. and it is in black to better suit his costume, which I really appreciate. But it actually has a sort of Technic tube here, which is for a very good reason, because it is long enough to store 2 discs here, and the thin lip there at the top keeps the discs from coming off unless you actually want them to. You have to noticeably pull. They are a lot better secured than they might look. You can easily spin them around. Like, they will not come off unless you actually want them to, which is a very good thing because it means that they can't just fall off. I think I've had them ping off like once or twice ever when I was, moving them around and fiddling with them and stuff, so they are very nicely secured on. But what I was talking about in relation to him splitting his discs, as you can see here, this is what they look like when they're both displayed on his back. Obviously, they wouldn't be that thick in the movie, but there's literally nothing LEGO could do about that with the way this works, and I'm not criticizing them at all. I think the way they did it is perfect, so you can easily just take one. If anything, they're a little too tightly secured on there sometimes, but you can easily just get your nail into the gap in the piece and just get it off. So as you can see, when he only has one disc on, it can fall off sometimes when it's not both discs are on. As you can see, it's kind of loose there, but you can easily split the discs and have him only use one and keep the other one on his back, which works well. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have to say about Rinsler. Let's move on to the rest of the set. I know I did spend a long time talking about the figures, but honestly they are easily at least half of the reason to get the set to me, if not more. So let's go to the bikes. So right here we have the 2 light cycles, the main highlight of the set in terms of the size of them. And let me just say, I really like Brick Bros UK's fan design with the pieces he had, and no actual, official designers or anything, just 2 random talented guys in the community. They did a really great job with their fan design. Again, I really urge that you should go subscribe to them and support them, as that light cycle is not even the only cool Tron build they made. They also made some really cool other stuff, which I think you should go check out. But honestly, even they themselves said this, the LEGO official designers team absolutely smashed the design of a LEGO light cycle. This is just amazing designing here. Before we get to the cycles, let me just cover another nice bonus for the set, which I didn't think they would include, which is this really nice circuitry digital style stand. This is kind of a nice representation of what the roads in the grid actually look like, obviously with the blue circuitry, as opposed to red if it were in Clue's territory. So yeah, this is just a really nice display stand, and as you can see, we've only got 2 studs here, so you can easily just click the bikes on and off the stand with their plates on the bottom here to just easily do that. So let's get to the bikes themselves. So first of all, my favourite parts about the bikes are the custom pieces. They look so nice, and these are the main things which just make these stand apart from the Brick Bros design, because they couldn't have used really cool custom pieces like this, because their builds were purist, meaning they could not create decals or use custom printing or custom molded pieces or anything like that. So what LEGO did is they first of all created custom pieces for the wheels, which, as much as I do generally prefer red and orange and yellow circuitry in Tron, I actually think that the blue ones are just as good as the red ones here. So if you take these off, these are actually just radar dish pieces. Well, not radar dish pieces. They're not radar dish pieces. What am I on about? They are these, I don't know, the dimensions of the piece, but yeah, they're 3x3 round plate-sized dish sort of pieces, and yeah, they look really cool with the custom decals, and this is how they are connected in between with a grey pole beam piece. So as you can see, here is the construction of the bike. It's actually a very nice, very fun but simple build, and you wouldn't want an extremely complicated build for a light cycle. As you can see, it's very easy. The wheels just click in, and you can just click the other wheel in like that. So other main features of the bike, as you can see here, we do have the little grip here, which means that it's all just very sleek, minimalist design, as the Generation 5 light cycles, which are the ones in Tron Legacy, should be. They of course come with these claw pieces, which LEGO figures can grip when they are on the bike. This black retextured version of a golden ingot is a very nice piece to use in the design. Again, a piece which didn't actually exist before this set as far as I'm aware, so this is the benefit of it being an official LEGO set. You can just literally create new pieces. And again, my other favourite part of this is actually the ingenious... Like, I was blown away by this when I saw the box, when they actually covered it up on the box, because that looks absolutely flawless. There's no way they could have made it better than that. That just looks perfection, how it looks in the movie. But what they did was they actually used a long, thin, rectangular flag piece with a, just the bar here on the end. And each bike has a clip, which you can just click it into very easily. And there you go, you have an amazing looking trail. Now that is just awesome. As you can see here, these do come with these little transparent pieces. Obviously, I don't think the bikes were... the bikes in the actual arena, I don't think they were weaponized. So what you could say these are is the actual... sort of the generators, I'm not sure, but it's kind of just a cool bit of designing on LEGO's part. I'm not sure if I'm being dumb and missing the lore on what these actually are, but I can't actually think of what these will be on the actual cycle. They do kind of look like a water bottle, which is something else I noticed, so if you want to make a water bottle for some reason, riding a light cycle is exhausting work. Sorry. Yeah, they're just water bottles that they've got clipped on the side in case they get really thirsty trying to murder each other. But yeah, I was going to say what they could be is like the activators of the trail, but if I remember correctly in the movie, they're actually situated up here by the grips, which would make a lot more sense. So, yeah. So these are very, very nicely designed bikes. So the blue one looks great, but as I said, I do kind of prefer orange and yellow being my favourite circuitry in Tron. I would love it if you could make custom versions of these bikes. Unfortunately, as I said, these pieces are custom pieces, and the drawback of custom pieces is that despite them looking awesome, it makes building, other variants of it harder because you can't get the pieces in different colours. So, I would definitely pay again if LEGO re-released these bikes in different sets with different colours. I would definitely buy them. So, LEGO, if you're watching this, I know that you were never planning to make Tron a theme because you made this just a one-off idea set, but if you do ever make more Tron sets, especially Tron Legacy sets with yellow light cycles or whatever in them, just know I will be one of the first in line to get them. Like, I will buy every Tron set that you make, as long as it's not terrible, but you guys don't usually make bad stuff because you're LEGO, so I don't want to diss LEGO in a review of one of my favourite sets they've ever made. That would just... yeah. So, as you can see, the red cycle is just a recoloring, as it should be, of the blue one. Even though in the movie they say that their red bikes are faster, I don't think that was actually like noticeable on the design itself. I think they might have been a bit smaller, but nothing noticeable, and they wouldn't want to scale it down because then that would change all these custom pieces. So again, the trail actually it looks so amazing. What you'd want to do is position it perfectly in line with the bottom plate to make it look the absolute best so that it's easier to hide. But just look how good that looks, man. That looks absolutely amazing. Both bikes look great. And of course, you can easily put a figure on them. So I will mount Rinza on his bike, on his light cycle now. Show what that looks like. So you just, put the figure in the allocated little slot, lean him forward, and position the grips here. You position the figure's hands. I'm just doing this off camera for just for ease of doing it here. You just got to position the hands in the correct way. I've just accidentally taken a piece off. Okay, there we go. I would cut it, but I've just finished it, so of course it doesn't have to be perfect for it to look like they're actually, riding it pretty convincingly. So if we move the other one out of the way there we go. That looks amazing. Just everything about this set is awesome. I really don't see that much they could have done to improve it other than include more stuff, but that would have made it way more expensive, and honestly, I think being able to get multiple Tron light cycles and some characters from the movie for only £30 for a Tron fan, that is just godly. That is heaven sent. So really nothing bad I could say about this set. The only thing I would say is I wish LEGO would make more Tron sets, but for now I'm just incredibly grateful and happy that they've actually made one at all, because, you know, that movie came out 9 years ago. I know that's not actually a problem because it's the LEGO Ideas line and they've made things like Ghostbusters and all these other things. And as much as I'd love to get those sets, they're really friggin' expensive. One of my favourite things about this set, as I've said multiple times now, is the price. So this is much more accessible for, you know, more casual LEGO collectors who don't really want to spend, you know, hundreds of pounds on LEGO, especially for things like the fucking Ghostbusters and, you know, the other idea sets are ridiculously expensive because they're very cool and they're very limited run. But this set is just awesome, and yeah, if you can find this set for any price you'd be willing to pay, I 100% recommend it. I would give this set a full 10 out of 10, highest marks I can give it. I am biased, obviously, because I'm a Tron fan, but even if you're, you know, you just kind of like think Tron's kind of cool, you're not a mega fan like I am, even then, this is quite a cheap set, and you get some really cool stuff with it. Like, these light cycles would look great in any custom sci-fi build, and even if you don't want to keep them built as the light cycles, the custom pieces, like the wheels and trails, would be pretty cool as well. Not to mention, the stand give you some really cool pieces for a sci-fi mock. And again, the figures are customizable if you don't particularly care for Tron Legacy, the characters themselves, but you know you want to make some Tron style figures, then there you go. The best part is, honestly, for making customs, that especially on the Sam Flynn one, it doesn't actually show any flesh at all, so you could easily just swap the hands out to yellow and then make pretty much any figure you want out of it. The Korra one does show that, which I like because I want the Korra character to look as movie accurate as possible, but yeah, the Sam one, you could easily swap that out for literally anyone you want. And again, the Rinza figure doesn't have that problem either, so yeah, that's the LEGO Tron set. I know this has been a like 30-minute video. This has been more of a detailed review. At some point I might re-release this video. If this one doesn't get a lot of views because of its length, I might re-release this video as a sort of, you know, quicker review, but this one's been more in depth, as I'm used to doing on my channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider subscribing to join the 100 plus other people who've now done that, which I'm still buzzing about, getting 100 subscribers. But if you want to join them, you can expect some awesome videos like LEGO content like this one, Halo content with the Mega Constructs line and just the video games, Minecraft videos, Pokemon videos, and a lot more things to interest you. So go check out my channel and go check out my friends as well, which I've linked there. Subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and be sure to comment if you think that this video was too long, or if you enjoyed it in the more detailed way it went into things. So that's enough of this now. I'm going to stop rambling, and I would 100% recommend you get this set. I will see you next time. Focus out.